All right, all right. In this video, I'm gonna go quickly to two semiconductor stocks, AMD and NVIDIA. So this is the AMD weekly chart, and let's just zoom out a little bit to see what's going on exactly with AMD. If you see the price action, there are a couple wide range bar back test, wide range bar back test, but this is April 5, which market or AMD reacted to this wide range bar. So right now it's formed the bottom. I thought that this is gonna be the low, but obviously I was wrong. So it just pushed lower to this area and formed the bottom 70, I would say $80, $75. That's the area for AMD. Right now, $102 closed on a weekly, and we got into, I would say, small resistance here. It's not going to be a big deal. But the bigger, I should say, the bigger problem is going to be here, 118 to 120. So this is the area. Why? Because previously we had nice rally to the upside, rejected, going back to the downside. Right now, AMD is tackling again to 118 to 20, and that would be kind of like the area that I'm looking at potentially um, for the resistance. So if we just again change our or adjust our wave count here, so we see that here we may see some kind of like AMD tackle to this area going down, and if it keeps this low here and it goes like to 102, which is going to be important level because we got above this white range bar again. That's going to be another bullish. Then we can be optimistic about rally to the upside and potentially breaking through this um, bearish trend line here. Potentially, it can happen during summertime. So I would say in August, September, we may see some kind of like AMD top here, somewhere around 135, which is going to be another 35% to the upside, like from the current level. That's going to be uh, fantastic. So if you go to um, daily chart, here's the confirmation that I have. Let me just zoom out here. Yes. So here is the AMD. You see that this is kind of like a nicely reacted. We are just showing higher low, higher high. And the level above AMD is going to be 118 to 120. So it goes all the way to this dynamic trend line here and also getting close to this important resistance around 118 to 120. So let's say if AMD goes there, and that's going to be the ideal scenario. If AMD goes there, just piercing up, that would be perfect scenario. Going to 120 and then getting back to the downside around 102, like at the current level. If it goes back again to the upside, that would be a fantastic reverse head and shoulder. And we see that here's the left shoulder, here is the head, and here's the right shoulder. All right. So that would be the scenario that I'm looking at for AMD. If that happens, we can be hopeful for breaking through above this. And as I said in a weekly chart, we can go to higher highs, potentially 135, even 140, 150. But that's going to be the scenario where we need to break through above this trend line here. All right. So that's AMD. Let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA, recently, we just had a nice move to the upside, and we just got into this bearish trend line here. So this is the daily chart. In daily chart, you see that we may see some kind of like a tackling above this bearish trend line here. Even we can go to 125, 122. But that would be, I would say, false breakout, folks, because I expect NVIDIA is coming back down again, back test this area, 105. The reason is this weekly area. So let me just save this, going to the weekly chart. Weekly chart tells me that NVIDIA is going to form the top. So here's the momentum. We are not topped yet, but we are pretty close to the top. So NVIDIA at this level, very, very important. There are lots of sellers there, 120 to 125. This $5 range is going to be lots of sellers. And also in a bigger time frame, you see that NVIDIA is forming a nice head and shoulder, which is going to be, again, put pressure on the price. Just because people when see this pattern, they're going to sell around this area, 120 to 125, even 130. That would be the scenario, but I'm not sure if it goes to 130, because if it goes to 130, we need to see the momentum. But 120 to 125, I would say NVIDIA can see the selling pressure coming from the market, as though lots of sellers are on a weekly chart. They're just waiting there. Again, going back to the daily chart, you see that. So we may go back up above this trend line. Everyone is saying, oh, there is a breakout, but breakout is going to confirm when we get above 133, even above this high, which is February high, which is going to be 140 to 144. That's a lot of distance higher. So I should say the price needs to hike up aggressively to get there. So that would be kind of like another potential 15% to the upside, and that's going to be a lot. Based on the market condition and based on the momentum that I see, especially second half of May, by second half, by the first half of the June. So this 30 days period, we may see another volatility picked up and market is going down. So that can put pressure on NVIDIA and AMD as well down the road. But right now, we may see potentially most of them are just tackling to some certain levels, but after that, everyone needs to be careful. All right, so needs to be careful. I'm not expecting a crash or something. I think this is bottom, and we may see another higher low, and that would be a good buying opportunity. But I'm not going to be buyer at this level. I'm kind of like a cautious because we bought a lot here, and during the sell-off, actually, we bought a lot, and we're just waiting another push higher to take more profit out of it. All right, guys. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.